Christian Horner is out of control. His increasingly erratic behavior and constant accusations towards rival teams have begun to alienate his backers. Now, Red Bull's Thai shareholders are losing faith in him. His job is on the line, and former Alpine boss Oliver Oakes is being tipped as his replacement if he fails to turn things around. Here's everything you need to know. Oliver Oakes made a sudden exit from Alpine on Tuesday, and the reasons behind his departure remain shrouded in mystery, though many believe it's tied to the unexpected dismissal of Jack Doohan. But don't count the 37-year-old Brit out just yet. Whispers from Italy suggest he could be heading toward a new adventure. And some sources are already tipping Oakes as a potential successor to Christian Horner at Red Bull as the team boss faces growing pressure from the Thai shareholders. Christian Horner's future at Red Bull Racing is suddenly hanging in the balance. The 51-year-old, who's been steering the energy drink juggernaut since its debut in 2005, may soon see his nearly two-decade-long reign come to an end. Last year, Christian Horner enjoyed strong backing from the Thai majority shareholders, but now that support seems to be fading. With Red Bull finding itself in a battle for supremacy against McLaren, whispers of a leadership shakeup are growing louder. Tensions within the team are partly fueled by allegations of inappropriate behavior directed at Horner. Red Bull's top brass in Thailand are closely monitoring the impact of the team's upcoming upgrades at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. After the first 6 races of the season, Max Verstappen's squad had to admit defeat to the reigning champions, McLaren. Red Bull's sole victory so far came courtesy of Verstappen's unmatched skill. With tensions rising, the upcoming upgrades at Imola could be the make-or-break moment for the long-time team boss. The Thai faction was responsible for saving Horner in early 2025. However, that support now seems to be diminishing. If the upgrades in Imola do not yield the desired results, Horner's position will once again be under pressure. One of the names that then emerges as a possible successor is Oliver Oakes. His career bears striking similarities to that of Horner, a former driver who became a team boss at a young age. It's no coincidence that Oakes was linked with Red Bull in early 2024 at the height of the Horner scandal. At that time, he was considered an external option, as opposed to internal candidates like Pierre Wache or Jonathan Wheatley. Christian Horner's recent public attitude isn't helping his case either. Tensions were running high at the Miami Grand Prix as Horner was caught in the middle of a fiery exchange with Mercedes boss Toto Wolff. The showdown followed Red Bull's protest against George Russell, accusing the British driver of failing to slow down under yellow flags during Sunday's race. Verstappen lost track position to George Russell during the race, thanks to the timing of a mid-race virtual safety car. The VSC allowed Russell to pit and lose less time compared to Verstappen, who had to stop under normal race conditions. But as the checkered flag fell, the reason behind the timing became clear. Red Bull quickly lodged a protest against Russell, citing a potential breach of Article 2.5.5.b of Appendix H of the International Sporting Code, alleging that he failed to slow down under yellow flags. Had the protest been successful, it would have resulted in a time penalty for Russell, explaining why Verstappen was instructed to keep his distance within the smallest time penalty range possible. Speaking to the media, Christian Horner explained the reasoning behind Red Bull's decision to file the protest. "We're not purporting or suggesting that there's anything illegal on the car. We felt that George Russell has done something that is in breach of the regs in the way that they're written," he said. "So that's why we put a protest in today, because more than anything, you want clarity. The regulations say there should be a reduction in speed. It doesn't talk about a lift, it doesn't talk about time off the top, it talks about a reduction in speed. We very clearly did that, and that was why Max flagged it immediately from what he saw in the cockpit." Martin Brundle has accused Max Verstappen of telling tales out of school during the Miami Grand Prix. In a column for Sky Sports, Brundle offered his take on the events, pointing out that Verstappen appeared to have imagined George Russell's movement under braking. He wrote, "Russell had been struggling through the event, seemingly missing a couple of tenths of pace, but he kept his head, car and tyres together with solid momentum along with a well-timed one and only pit stop to secure yet another podium. What nearly let him down was his stomach, with some painful cramping in the final 15 laps. Russell had benefited from also pitting on lap 29 under the VSC and moving up to third place. But Max Verstappen kept him very honest throughout the closing phases, even telling tales out of school that George hadn't lifted the throttle when passing a yellow flag. The Red Bull team escalated this after the race with a protest, one which the stewards denied when saying the protest is rejected and not founded. Although the protest was ultimately dismissed by the F1 stewards and wasn't pursued further, the drama didn't end there. A tense confrontation between Red Bull and Mercedes spilled out into the paddock, with a striking photo snapped by Adam Cooper capturing the heated exchange. In the image, Wolff and Russell stand face to face with Horner, who was flanked by key Red Bull figures like Pierre Wache and Giampiero Lambiase. The scene shows Horner delivering a heated address to his Mercedes rivals. But Russell's yellow flag controversy might not be the only reason for Horner's outburst. Toto Wolff humiliated the Red Bull team principal after the race, making it clear that he was unimpressed with the accusations he has been throwing at rival teams. Red Bull had suggested that McLaren might be bending the rules with their approach to keeping tyres cool and managing degradation over a race distance. Wolff, however, was adamant that McLaren is fully compliant with F1's regulations, saying he has no doubt about their operations. In defending McLaren, Wolff also seized the opportunity to call out Horner's recurring pattern of accusing other teams of cheating whenever Red Bull starts to feel the heat. He told media, "I think that the team around Zach Brown, Andrea Stella, Rob Marshall, these are good people with integrity. If in the past we often say, well, let's look at whether there's something borderline, but I have no doubt that these guys, McLaren, stay within the rules. It's just really good development with that car. They've understood how to manage the tyre much better than everybody else, and in my opinion, it's totally legit." Here's where he fired a shot at Christian Horner. Also, from a team management point of view, we should never, when somebody is doing a better job than you, we should not look at that and say they're cheating, because that's not the right attitude anyway. So we just need to become better and eventually not lose 30 or 35 seconds over 57 laps. All that said, there may be hope for Horner yet. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko has indeed confirmed that the team will be rolling out new upgrades next weekend in Imola as they aim to bounce back from a challenging start to the season. After McLaren's dominance, Red Bull finds itself sitting in third place in the constructors' standings, a hefty 141 points behind McLaren, who also hold the top two spots in the Drivers' Championship. In the most recent race, Max Verstappen finished a distant fourth, almost 40 seconds behind race winner Oscar Piastri. Reflecting on the weekend's performance, Marko shared his thoughts with OE24, saying, "We were simply not fast enough. Max is fully there over one lap, so he compensates a lot with his skills. That's what I call the Max factor. But in the race, unfortunately, we saw the incredible speed of McLaren. 40 seconds behind is a lot. It would have been even more if Max had not driven in front of the McLarens in the opening phase and had not slowed them down. As George Russell's third-place finish shows, Mercedes is also stronger, so we have to think of something and pull out all the stops to find more performance. We will have new parts," Marko said. "The question is whether it will bring us closer to McLaren. They have an incredibly strong car. Max's pole position in Miami honestly only came about after McLaren and Kimi Antonelli made mistakes in the last laps. Given the sheer amount of scandal Christian Horner has brought upon Red Bull, are they better off without him? Let's argue in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the latest in Formula One. Thanks for watching.